What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am feeling much more rested than you saw me in the last video. I actually didn't get that much more sleep. I think my body's just getting accustomed to a lack of sleep. But you might have seen on Instagram that I'm doing a mini cut. I'm looking to lose about like 10 to 12 pounds or so. I'm 5 days in, I'm a few pounds down already. So over the next few weeks, I'm gonna walk you through what it takes to lose that amount of weight in a very sustainable, healthy way. All right, that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. I'm gonna answer some questions from Instagram as well. But for now, I'm gonna try and get a little bit of jiu-jitsu in. Sean's over here. He's probably gonna beat the shit out of me, but we're gonna get that in and see how it goes.
You said you guys were working on a pass today. What is that?
So a pass, very basically, is the guy on top is trying to get around the legs of the person on bottom. If the person on bottom allows this to happen, this is a pass, because this is a very dangerous position for the person on bottom, for the guy on top to be completely past the legs. But even though a lot of people would look at this situation and think the person on bottom is at a real disadvantage, it's not the case. The person on bottom could catch me in submissions, choke me out just like this. In a real fight, they could up kick me in the face. Like, it's a more even situation than people realize. So my goal, get around the legs and then attack from there. That's a pass. This is a great drill. Alex taught this yesterday. I just hit it on Sean. So as Sean was going for the underhook, and usually an underhook under my arm is a very strong position for the person on bottom, or really anywhere in a fight. But as Sean swung his arm in, I immediately swung here. And it's hard to see, but his wrist gets trapped underneath my armpit. And so what I can do is, I can put it against the ground, and now that the ground is sort of acting like a wedge, and his wrist is trapped in my armpit, I can literally just press down until his wrist does this, and if he didn't tap, it would break. So it's a sneaky little wrist lock that Alex taught us yesterday. It works really, really well. All right, just finished jiu-jitsu, got my ass kicked by Sean, but it was a really good training day. So in terms of my cut, I started 5 days ago. I started at 162. Today I woke up at 159.6. I have a lot of people freaking out, like, how the hell are you losing weight this quickly? Spoiler alert, it's not all fat. But what we're gonna do in this video is I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I've done thus far and what I'm gonna continue to do to lose weight sustainably over the course of the next several weeks, and something that you can do as well. So you can get a better idea of, if you wanna lose 5, 10, 15 pounds or more than that, you can do the same thing to help you get on track and sort of know the road and the path to go down.
How's she doing today?
Good, she's hungry. She's already drank an ounce in like 3 minutes. Yeah, didn't you? Say hi, Mitch. She's a little sleepy today.
I just had something to eat, did some baby pictures, fed my daughter. Now I'm ready to get some cardio in. Not excited at all, but it's gotta be done, so let's go. All right, so got a quick cardio workout today. It's about a half-mile warm-up jog, then 6 quarter-mile sprints, and then a 1 mile jog after that. So the whole thing will be about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how fast I really want to go. I'll show you a screenshot of the workout that Alex Viata wrote for me, but pretty much it. So I'm gonna dive right into it. Almost done. That was tough. Got a little over a mile left now. Just like a cool down mile. So probably another 10, 12 minutes. I can't talk. I'm done. So Mitch is just like, I'm sticking the camera in your face. What are we doing now? So I just finished. I feel really good. Gonna go take a shower. All right, geez, get the fucking words out of my mouth. I'm gonna go take a shower, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the mini cut, answer your questions, and sort of give you the whole rundown on what's going on with this 10-pound weight loss. All right, so we made it this far in the video. If you did, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already. And now we're gonna talk about my weight cut. Okay, so I'm gonna break this up into a couple sections: what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it. Okay, now after that, we're gonna go through the Instagram Q&A questions, answer some of those. But first, I wanna talk about this weight cut. Why am I trying to lose about 10 pounds? And actually, quick sidebar, having a little drink right now. Not sponsored, I don't do sponsorships. You know that already if you've been in this channel. Having a little tequila Paloma. Next video, which will be in about 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna talk about how you can lose weight while still continuing to drink, because a lot of people think that you can't drink alcohol and lose weight. So I'm gonna show you that you can. I'll explain how to do that in the next video, so subscribe if you don't already. But in terms of this video, number one, why am I trying to lose weight? Just had a baby girl, things are pretty crazy. Why would I bother trying to lose weight? Well, the brief answer is, the first answer is, because I want to. Right? Like, that's the most important part, is because I want to. Going a little bit more deeper, I noticed my pants were fitting a little bit tighter. And I actually said in a previous video, I think in last week's video, I spoke about how, you know, if I gain a few pounds, I'm okay with that, which is fine. I have gained a few pounds, and I'm actually now at the heaviest I've been ever, but I'm also like the healthiest, and my blood pressure is great, my performance is great, I feel really good, but my pants are starting to get a little tight. And that was really, I was like, cool. Time for me to rein in the nutrition. That's basically the main reason I want to do this. The other reason I want to do this is because I get so many people emailing me, messaging me, DMing me, commenting, I just had a new baby, I'm super tired. People are telling me that it's a waste of time to even try to lose weight if I'm this tired. What do you think? And I want to show you, if you want to lose weight, you can do it no matter what. You can achieve it, I promise you. When you're more tired and you're not getting enough sleep and you have a newborn, it's gonna be more difficult, no question about that. But I wanna show you that you can do it. So I'm gonna document that for you over the next few weeks, few months, we'll see how it goes. So that's the what I'm doing and the why I'm doing it. Now let's talk about how I'm gonna do it. And I'll make this relatively brief. If you've followed me for a while, you know the only way to lose body fat is to be in a calorie deficit. So number one, I'm gonna be eating in a calorie deficit. Now, the main question that I'm getting here is, how am I doing that? Am I counting my calories? Am I weighing and measuring my food? Am I more eyeballing it? So number one is I figured out how many calories that I need. Okay, so I use my goal body weight times 12 formula. If you don't know what that is, I have a free calorie calculator. It's here on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description of this video if you'd like to watch that. Very quick video, and again, it's 100% free. It's gonna tell you exactly how many calories you need. That's what I do. Okay, so I take my goal weight, and I'll walk you through this in a second, and I multiply that by 12, and that's how many calories I can have per day. Now, I spent many years of my younger adult life weighing and measuring my food, to the point where now I can look at a plate of food and probably guess within 50 to 100 calories how many calories is on that plate, just from looking at it and knowing. But it came from so much experience doing that for years, from when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, weighing and measuring every single morsel of my food, which, by the way, it was too much. I did it way too much. I took it to an extreme, which is very like me. I take many things to the extreme, but that helped me a lot now in the future because I don't need to do it anymore. I don't even own a food scale at this point because I don't need it. But if you've never done it before and you've never weighed or measured your food, I think it's a really good idea to try. So for me personally, I know how many calories I should be eating, generally between 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day. And that's my main goal. So it's that range of 1,800 to 2,000. My goal weight is about 150 pounds. And that's pretty much it. 150 pound goal weight, trying to stay between 1,800 to 2,000 calories, you know, still drinking, still enjoying myself. A lot of people have been asking, and we can discuss this more in the Q&A or just right now, people have been asking me, why am I calling it a mini cut? This is a really good question, and there are generally two different types of mini cuts. One mini cut is just a small amount of weight. Another mini cut, and this is something that you might hear more in like the bodybuilding end of the fitness industry, is it's a relatively extreme amount of weight loss in a short or mini period of time. So I think a lot of people in the fitness industry hear mini cut and they think of that where it's like you're trying to lose a lot of weight very quickly. That's not what I'm trying to do. I've done that in the past, especially for jiu-jitsu competitions when I need to weigh in or for something, but this is just for my health. This is just for me to feel a little bit better, just maybe a little bit more confident, fit in my pants a little bit better so I don't have to buy new pants. So when I say mini cut, this is purely just a small amount of weight that is probably gonna be relatively easy for me. If I'm looking at a time frame, and actually that's a good thing to talk about, I don't care how long this takes me. I don't care if this takes me 4 months. It's not gonna take me that long. I know myself, I've done this so many times, but I don't have a day where I'm like, this is the end date. I'm not a fan of doing that because if you have a day on which you will end your diet, usually what you'll do is you will overly restrict yourself until that day and then you end up binging, then you end up massively overeating. Like that's the day where your diet ends. This isn't like a strict diet for me. This is just hey, stop eating like an asshole in gargantuan portions and having 4 ice cream sandwiches every night while you're breastfeeding. When you're bottle feeding your child, it's like, just rein it in a little bit. So 10 pounds for me, it's a relatively small amount of weight, and I don't care if it takes 2 months or 3 months. It's probably gonna be between that like 8 to 12 week mark, which makes sense, right? If I'm trying to lose about 10 pounds and a 1 pound per week weight loss is a good average, it's probably gonna be between 8 to 12 weeks that I lose 10 pounds. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna follow over the next few weeks here on the YouTube channel. We'll do other stuff as well, but I sort of wanna walk you along this process so you can see how I'm doing this mini cut, why I'm doing this mini cut, and how I accomplish this. So if you would like to do the same thing, you know how to lose weight sustainably and very healthily. So with that being said, let's get into the Instagram questions, which are going to be about this mini cut. All right, so question 1, this is a very good question. It's from KK Mathers on Instagram. She said, the other day you mentioned a whoosh with your weight. Can you explain more about that? So if you've followed me for a while, you've seen me do mini cuts before. And I actually have an entire video here on YouTube explaining weight fluctuations and how they work. So if you want to watch that video, I'll put that link in the description. But basically, most people think that when you lose weight, and maybe they don't think this logically, but emotionally, when they step on the scale every day, they expect the scale to go down, right? If you're being perfect with your nutrition, you're counting your calories, you're eating super well, you're getting your steps in, you're getting your workouts in, when you step on the scale, you expect it to go down. And if it doesn't, oftentimes in your heart and in your gut, you're like, motherfucking stupid scale, why aren't you going down? And the worst is when it goes up, it spikes up. You're like, motherfucker, I quit, right? Because the scale isn't going the direction that you want. But this is normal. And the way I phrase this is, imagine if you lost 1 pound a week, every single week for an entire year. That would be 52 pounds down for that year. In 2 years, 104 pounds, right? Most people don't have that much weight to lose. Now, if you do have that much weight to lose, it's a separate story, but most people losing 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, like you're not gonna lose that weight every single week. It gets to a point where it stalls, it'll go up, it'll go down. Your weight loss graph is gonna look a lot more like this than it is gonna look like this. Now, the difference is when it looks like this over time, the trend will be downwards, but there are spikes along the way, okay? Now, these spikes and dips, the dip is a whoosh. Now, this is really, really important to understand because as you're losing weight, oftentimes we'll hit a plateau. And I hate that word because a plateau, often people think it implies there's something wrong. Like, I hit a plateau. What do I do? I've hit a plateau. And most of the time when I really break it down, when people say they've been in a plateau, like they've been in it for like 7 minutes. Like my weight hasn't gone down and I've been so good with my diet for the last like 4 seconds. It's like, okay, you're not in a plateau. A plateau is actually like 7 to 14, maybe even 21 days of your weight staying about the same, even though you've been crushing it with your nutrition and your training. But the reality is usually after a certain amount of time in a plateau, you have this whoosh. And what'll happen is there's a scientific explanation for this. Oftentimes, as you're losing weight, your body doesn't want you to lose weight. So actually your fat cells will fill up with water. Right? They'll fill up with water. And there's actually a great article, an old article by Lyle McDonald that discusses this. It's called about whooshes and squishy fat. Amazing article by Lyle McDonald, super, super smart guy. And he talks about how sometimes like near when you're about to lose a lot of weight, you feel squishy. Like you can tell you're losing fat, your clothes are feeling better, but the scale isn't going down. You're losing inches. People talk about this all the time. I'm losing inches, but the scale isn't going down. Your body's holding on to water. So the scale is playing tricks on you. And then all of a sudden, after being in a plateau for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, whoosh, the scale goes down and you pee out a lot. And all of a sudden you feel leaner, you feel tighter. This is a whoosh. It's your body letting go of that extra water. It's normal. It's common. In fact, it's weird if you don't have it after a while. The issue is most people aren't patient enough to let that whoosh happen. Most people, as soon as the scale doesn't go down for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, they quit. They think it's not working. Then they drastically reduce their calories or they end up binging and going the other direction. The key here is when you see a little plateau, whether it's for 3, 5, 7, 10 days, don't make a change. Just keep being consistent. That's it. And eventually, whoosh, you see it go down. And that's where you see the sort of staircase effect with weight loss and with fat loss and on the scale. So the whoosh is, from a scientific perspective, just your body letting go of all that water. From a more practical and visible perspective, it's the scale after staying in a plateau, whooshing down, and all of a sudden you see a big drop. Now, it doesn't mean that after that big drop, it won't go back up again. Oftentimes you will go back up a little bit. I actually just had that here. Maybe I can even put up some picture of the screenshots I took of my weight tracking. You'll see I went from like 162 to 160 to 159, and then boom, then I went back up to like 160. Why is that? Why did I go down, 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 and then up? It's because I lost a lot of water weight. Now my body's adjusting, so it went back up a little bit. Totally normal. Most people freak out and they think that it's not working. The process of weight loss is not linear. It will not go down every day or even every week or even every 2 weeks. When you're in a plateau, you stay there, you stay consistent, you don't quit, and then soon enough, whoosh, you're gonna lose weight and it's gonna be a big whoosh, you're gonna see a big drop, and that's when you know to continue on doing exactly what you're doing. Okay, question number 2 is from, I'm gonna mispronounce this, P. Pamiji on Instagram, which, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing, follow me. I answer at least 2 questions from Instagram every single YouTube video, so follow me and make sure you submit your questions. I might answer them here. P. Pamiji asked, what are the main changes you are making for the mini cut? And I was just talking about this with Mitch before we hit record on this question, and Mitch said something great. He was like, I think you should rephrase the question and say, what changes are you not making, right? And that's really what the focus is here, because the reality is I'm not making many changes. My training, staying exactly the same. Strength training, cardio, staying exactly the same. My jiu-jitsu, staying exactly the same. My sleep, because I have an infant, is staying exactly the same. I can't really control that. So my training, my jiu-jitsu, my sleep, all staying exactly the same. I'm still enjoying myself, having alcohol a couple times a week, several times a week. There are some nutritional changes. I'm gonna walk you through those, but they're not drastic. I'm still enjoying my favorite foods and enjoying alcohol in moderation. The main difference is portion control. And this is not the fun or sexy or big thing that people want to hear about. They want to hear about, like, well, are you starting intermittent fasting? Well, are you going to do fasted cardio? Well, like, what supplements are you going to be taking? None of that. Nope. I am eating fewer calories. So, for example, when I was gaining a lot of weight,
easily downing a bottle of wine several nights a week. Like, it was just, and it was fun, and I was enjoying it, and it was great, but not anymore, because that's a fuck ton of calories, an entire bottle of wine. So now I'm gonna have maybe a couple like more liquor-based, like clear liquors, because they're lower calorie. So having something like a tequila paloma or a ranch water, which, by the way, I posted ranch water on my Instagram the other day. I had never heard of ranch water before I came to Texas, so I don't know why it's called ranch water, but a lot of people were asking me, like, does it taste like ranch dressing? No, it does not taste like ranch dressing. It's just tequila in essentially soda water, and you can put lime juice and stuff in it. So it doesn't taste like that at all. It's actually a very refreshing drink, but I don't think I'd ever want a drink that tasted like ranch dressing. But anyway, the major change is just better portion control. Not eating like an asshole. That's really it. Now, I will say, I'm already getting my steps in every day. Like, I'm very consistent with my workouts, my strength training. I'm very consistent with my steps and my cardio. If, let's say you're watching this and you're not consistent with your steps, and let's say you're getting like 1,500 steps a day, one of the changes you should make is getting your steps in, for sure. I would say that should be like probably priority number one, to be very honest with you. But let's say on the other hand, you are getting your steps in, you are super active, but you're not losing weight, you need to focus on your nutrition. You need to get your nutrition in check, whether that's counting calories, whether that's doing something like the 3 plates, 2 snacks method, which I post about in the Inner Circle all the time, or I talk about on my podcast. I'll put the link to my podcast in the description if you want to listen to that. I talk about it constantly. There are ways to lose weight without calorie counting, but what it really all boils down to is portion control, calorie control. That's what it is. That's the only change I'm making, is making sure I'm eating the right number of calories. So practically that looks like less wine. From an alcohol perspective, more clear liquors, making sure that I'm, what else am I doing? Really, like a little bit less alcohol. And Mitch and I just had a bunch of watermelon. I love to eat watermelon when I'm losing weight, just because it's super low calorie. It's very, very filling, and it's fucking delicious. An entire pound of watermelon is only 150 calories. An entire pound of strawberries is only 150 calories. So it's like, it's little things, making sure I'm eating more fruits and vegetables rather than like going straight to the pantry and getting chips or something like that, right? It's just these small little things that allow me to eat fewer calories and have better portion control, which again, not super fancy. It's not what people want to hear. They want the magic pill. There's no fucking magic pill. It's just gotta eat less and figure out ways to do that allow it to be enjoyable and more sustainable. I am not drastically reducing my calories so that I lose 5 pounds in a week. That's fucking stupid. I am not gonna try and lose as much weight as I possibly can. I'm also not going to only eat clean foods. I'm not only eating celery. I'm not only eating kale. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not like doing a juice cleanse. I'm also like, I'm enjoying my favorite foods. When I have pizza with my wife, I still enjoy myself, just in moderation. And I know that's way easier said than done, but that's what I'm here to help you with. So if you have questions about how to develop balance with your nutrition or how to eat in moderation, leave a comment below, ask me your question, and I can discuss this in a future video here on YouTube to help you develop that balance and moderation within your nutrition. Now, before we sign off, 2 quick, very important notes. If you are an Inner Circle member, I want you to know you have a mini cut one sheet that I made for you actually a couple of years ago, and I did a mini cut prior. So if you go into the manuals tab in your Inner Circle app, you click manuals, you scroll down, you will find the mini cut one sheet. There's a full explanation of how I structure my mini cuts, so you can follow along if you want to do that. If you are not in the Inner Circle, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, you can join. The link is in the description of the video, sfinnercircle.com. We would love to have you, and you have access to that mini cut one sheet as well. Now, with that being said, what I also want to know is who else is doing a cut at this time. I'm having a lot of people DMing me, messaging me, saying they're joining me on this mini cut. So if you're joining me, let me know what's going on. Leave a comment, tell me what your starting weight is, what your goal weight is, what you want to accomplish, and I'm gonna pick 3 people who talk about this in the comments to win a free month in the Inner Circle. All right, so leave a comment, let me know what's going on. If there's anything I can do to help, please leave a comment, ask a question. I would be more than happy to answer it here on YouTube. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't already. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.